Thank you so much for joining us on this. I'm going to take the second part of the topic, which is really balancing the act of residential real estate as the mainstay of this discussion. And we've got a wonderful panel out here. And I think, let me start off by saying that often a discussion like this ends up with a very, very narrow focus on the Mumbai market and real estate prices over here. But we don't want to do just that. We want to go beyond to look at the larger country and the future of the real estate sector and the developers at a time when there are a lot of regulatory changes, a lot of new winds blowing, so to say, in the real estate market. But we must start with the now, and I'm going to get Anuj to speak first and start off with how things are looking, because last year was pretty tough, Anuj. And most people have said that the first quarter of this year is going to determine the trends going ahead. What sense are you getting right now?
I think, Mini, I'll touch very quickly on the three sectors, which is the office, retail, and residential. On the office, 2012 was a tough year, which was amongst the lowest years that we had seen in terms of the demand. There was about 2.5 crore square feet of leasing that was done in that year, compared to 2008, which was one of the best years of about 3.5 crore square feet. We're expecting the same level of absorption or demand on the office, about 2.5 crores, as what it was last year. But I think the trouble on the office is that the supply is far in excess. So there's about 5 crore square feet of offices that have got built up in there. So clearly about 2 years of inventory. Although I must put a caveat that much of this offices is in tier 3, tier 4 towns, or the wrong parts of the right cities that has got built up. On the retail, we've seen, clearly there are developers who have now focused on retail, and, consolidation of retail has happened. Malls which were strata title sold, bad mall management, wrong circulation, wrong design, wrong location are the ones who have not been successful. The malls who have done all the right things have been very successful, and we've seen the rentals go up, clearly because the consumption has been high in those, and the retailers are making money in those malls, and hence they are very happy to pay higher rentals. So that's been good. I think residential is a pretty complicated market, the way that it has stacked up. Clearly on the mid to low level across all the cities, that has continued to do well. I think it's really when you're getting on to the high end, and that's where Bombay and Delhi largely comes in. That's where we've seen some slackness in the demand, and that slackness has largely been because the prices seem to be getting into an unaffordable level. But if you dissect it a little bit more and see is why the prices have been going up, you'll find that largely it's been because of your input cost that has gone up, whether it's the cost of construction or the various taxes that have gone up, or just the price of land itself.
Sure.
That has really taken up the cost. It isn't that the developers are making more money than what they were making before. It's just that the cost of doing business in terms of acquiring land and construction has escalated. And many a times we continue to have this debate that how do you bring down the prices? And I think the key ingredient for that is going to be how do you bring additional FSI in cities like Bombay, and how do you bring in infrastructure into the city and open other large parcels of land.
That opens up a lot of discussion points, but Baman, let me start off with you. One view on the premium end of residential real estate was the fact that was a natural hedge against a slowdown, because that end of the market didn't really see a slowdown post 2008, 2009, and a lot of developers went into that. But data shows that a lot of the growth is happening at the lower and middle end. How do you balance these two? Did the real estate sector, overstretch itself at the premium end? Do you think this is a passing phase? What are the signs that you're reading?
So, first of all, I should say, a very good point has been raised by Anuj. Basically, prices that have been rising are making even what was once considered affordable part of the spectrum into slightly higher prices today. And this is all thanks to the input cost that has gone into the product itself. When I say input cost, it's not only the labor and the material. There's input cost in terms of, yes, the financial cost, in terms of the time taken for the approvals. And more importantly, and I should point this out, is the constant increase